we have to start with the Merseyside derby. This is not panning out the way we want the way many thought the end of the Klopp era should end.
Yeah.
They played Everton. They lost 2-0. They missed a ton of chances.
Again.
They defended horrendously.
Again.
And, now it feels like they're not that far back, but it feels like a really heavy lift with just a couple games to go.
Yeah, 3 points behind Arsenal now with the same amount of games played. City are just a point behind, but with 2 games in hand. The goal difference is massively in favour of Arsenal and even of City over Liverpool. So I think we could say with just 4 games to go that it's not over mathematically for them, but it looks unlikely that they can, unless Arsenal and City both drop a lot of points and Liverpool win everything, which they don't look in a position of doing that because defensively they're all over the place, shambolic, especially on set pieces. I mean, we will talk about the second goal, but it looked like even Trent Alexander-Arnold is scared to even go up for the ball.
We can't blame everything always on Trent
Alexander-Arnold. I'm not saying. I'm just saying it's embarrassing to watch. But the more worrying maybe is not that sometimes you can't defend. You don't defend well as a team, etc. Set pieces. It's the fact that they can't score for their lives lately.
Yeah, and that's been a theme. He's talked about, we're rushing things, we're snatching at chances, and so on. Darwin Núñez has always been a little bit like that, I think.
Wasteful, yeah.
But, the volume of chances makes up for it, so he scored his number of goals. Mohamed Salah, I find really disappointing. This is not where he should be. He's having a really, really tough time.
Yeah.
They're not the only two who are missing chances. That's been a theme. But the defensive breakdowns, we always talk about experience and whatever else. Van Dijk isn't wanting for experience. Konate, who in the first half of the season was doing really well. He's been. I would play Kwanzaa ahead of him at this stage if he's going to play like that. What do we chalk this up to? We can't just be Everton are physical and whatever. And by the way, Everton scored 2 goals. Everton created more chances than those 2 goals.
Yeah.
Liverpool might have created more chances overall, and their XG was more than 2, whatever, and they couldn't finish, but. They gave up so many chances to Everton. That's not acceptable.
No, they give up a lot of space as well. So when you can't control the space, when you don't have the ball and what runs in behind you, for example, or where people can find space to either beat your press or put some good movement together, then you struggle and you feel exposed. Endo didn't start against Everton. It was McAllister back in that number 6 position, which we've said he's done well, but it's not his position, certainly defensively without the ball.
But when Endo plays, he's generally bad. So,
well, Endo can run and defend at least. It's with the ball that McAllister is much better than Endo.
But you're playing a team where the second most attacking player is Doucouré. So do I really need Endo for that?
No,
I don't need a specialist.
No, maybe not, and that's why I didn't start him. I just think as a whole, the press is not as efficient. It was pretty obvious. Certainly, what they do if they press, but the other team plays long, like yesterday on Calvert-Lewin, and then the opposition as a player that can hold the ball up, then your press become obviously pointless. So you have to find something else, and they don't have that plan B anyway.
Looking ahead to the future, I think both of us, one of the things we agree on is that Arne Slot is the greatest bald Dutch manager in the world.
It is, yeah.
By some margin.
Yeah.
Probably have Jaap Stam at second. I don't even know what he's doing now, but maybe there's somebody else I'm forgetting. But he's been strongly linked to the job.
Yeah.
I was messaging one of our colleagues. I'm not going to say who, but he's like, "Well, Slot bottled the Spurs job last year," and that angered me because they said, "Like he didn't take the Tottenham job last year, and they went to Postecoglou."
Yeah.
It's not because he's scared to manage the Premier League. Maybe he got a better deal from Feyenoord. Maybe he felt some loyalty. Maybe he didn't want to take over the team when and deal with Harry Kane leaving.
Yeah.
So
maybe he thought a bigger club would come at some point.
I think he makes sense for Liverpool.
Yeah, I like the fact that, and we will develop that more in the podcast, but I like the fact that to replace Klopp outside of Xabi Alonso, the other candidate that they had was a bit more
Ruben
outside
Amorim.
of the box. Yeah, Amorim.
Right.
Frank Hayes at Lens was on their shortlist, so is Arne Slot. So they didn't just go for Mourinho or for those big names or for Zidane or whatever. They actually look for people who played a bit like Klopp, who have similarities with Klopp, or certainly with the style of football, the pressing, the intensity, all of that.
And similarities, I think, as well with the charisma. This is somebody who's outspoken. This is somebody who's generally cheery. And so maybe there's a personality match as well with Klopp.